What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. So, I was watching an interview with Joyce's manager, somebody from his camp, and the guy was basically talking about they've exercised the rematch clause, which I don't think is a bad idea. My thing was, because they didn't do it immediately, even though that's what the video, the guy says in the video that why did you guys immediately? No, they didn't immediately. I even made a video about that because he hadn't exercised the rematch clause yet. At least they didn't make it public. So basically, and also, you know, um, they started making talks about Zhilei Zhang versus Fury. So we know there was no rematch clause exercised anyway. And pretty much how this works, like he was saying, with him being a mandatory, well, let's say Zhilei Zhang fights somebody else and lose, then that puts, Joyce in a hole. I get all of that, and I agree with that. So yeah, and you should rematch, exercise your rematch clause. I mean, I don't see a reason not to. Unless you really strongly feel that you can't win. But other than that, yeah. But he says some things too, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But he says something that it's just become so like common that people hide behind this. He says Joyce wasn't down by as many rounds as people say. I had him down 3 rounds to 2. And he says if the ref didn't stop the fight, Joyce, he beats him in a 12-round fight. If that fight goes to this, he beats him. How do you know that? You can't prove that. You can feel that all you want, but like, what are you basing that on? He would have won. It's always, would have, could have, should have. For that matter, it doesn't matter if the ref stopped it off. Daniel Dubois took a knee and quit on his own. It doesn't matter. Somebody, we could say, Daniel Dubois' team could say, hey man, if that fight went the distance, Daniel Dubois knocks him out. There's no way he'd have been able to take all those blows for 12 rounds. It doesn't matter what you think would have happened. I just hear people say that. It's like, why are these people always so quick to say what could have happened? What would have happened? You don't know what would have happened. That's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what actually happened. And that was Joyce getting stopped. Same way. Did Daniel Dubois go into the fight with Joyce with a swollen eye? No. Come to find out later, that was much more than just a swollen eye. Did Joyce come into the ring with a swollen eye? No. Okay? Daniel Dubois' eye swelled up because Joyce kept punching him in it. Joyce's eye swole shut because, Zhilei Zhang kept punching him in it. Accuracy beats volume. We've seen many fights. You got a guy throw 900 fucking something punches and land 130. His opponent throws 300 and land like 168. You understand what I mean? So he's far more accurate. He's landing shots while you're throwing shots, but you're not landing them all. Joyce has always showed great stamina. So let's say it goes 12 rounds and Zhilei Zhang gets tired, right? And Joyce wins. Yeah, it's possible that could have happened, but does it matter? No. How about learn how to protect yourself and stay away from that punch that keep, damaging your eye? How about that? To say he would have done this and that, that's the same Raleigh Romero excuse. He just gets dropped. He got knocked out in sparring recently by this guy, Jahan, whatever his last name is. And he said the same thing that he said in the Tank fight. Yeah, but I was tearing him up. I was jumping on him. I was beating the shit out of him. And he just caught me with a good shot. Lucky punch. I was beating Tank in every single round. And he just caught me with a lucky shot. That's all that happened. Okay. That's all that needed to happen. Right? Simple. So, when I hear that, it's like, okay. Stop it, man. And he's even gone so far to say, like, Joyce is in a position now where his stock has went up to where even if he lost this fight, he still believed people would want to see him and Wilder fight. The interest wouldn't be the same. That's some delusional shit. And let me tell you why. Joyce built his name, but he didn't build his name and become champion. So he's still trying to prove that he belongs there. He's still trying to prove that, hey, I'm that guy. That's it. That's it. So if he loses again to Zhang, why would anybody want to see him in Zhang? I mean, I want to see him in Wilder. I think you'd rather see Zhang and Wilder. Why would Wilder want to fight the loser? You understand what I'm saying? So, trying to keep your name in the picture, trying to keep, eyes on your fighter. I get what's going on, but it's crazy, man, the way these conversations go now, because it's just like people are just, I don't know where they come up with this stuff. What I believe is gonna happen in the rematch is they're gonna try to get Joe to pressure Zhang more, because they feel like Zhang, he has shown in the past that he gets tired, and I believe they're gonna try to have him try to pressure him more. If Zhang keeps his cool and do the same thing he did last fight, I don't see why anything would be any different. Because the one thing about Joyce, if he's being defensive, then his hands is not moving as much as they usually do. And to be honest with you, his offense is his best weapon, because he's constantly throwing shots. Okay, and he throws a lot of wild looping slap punches. He's like off balance, not in the right position. He's there to be hit, and pretty much Zhang has the size, he has the speed, he has the power, and he has the technique that if he pace himself right, do what he has to do, and of course get in the best shape that he can possibly get in, but it'll be the same thing. Accuracy always beats volume, man. Keep a tight defense, keep that jab pumping in his face, do the same exact thing you did last time. I don't see Joyce really being different, because if you watch Joyce, he fights everybody the same exact way. The only thing, like with the Joseph Parker fight, to me, that was his best performance, and I always say that because he was better on defense and he was throwing his punches quicker. But at the same time, Zhang being a southpaw and fighting the way he does, it was just different. And I believe that southpaw, stance, it was a factor as well. And as long as Zhang is in shape, it's not about, you don't have to go in there and try to fight fire with fire. No, you don't have to try to throw, if he throws 80 punches, I'm going to try to throw 80 punches. Nope. Accuracy. Make him miss, make him pay. Joyce don't make you miss and make you pay. Joyce just overwhelmed you with just volume and constant pressure. But he's not physically bigger than Zhang either. And that works against Joyce, because Joyce can't do that juggernaut shit with him. He has to be more selective with his punch, creative with his punch selection. And he's not a sharp puncher. He's not a smart, high ring IQ type fighter. He's just pressure. He only knows one speed. He's completely one-dimensional. And truthfully, he has poor defense. So if Zhang is catching him with that jab right hand, what is Joyce going to do different? The same punches he couldn't get away from last time, he's not going to be able to get him from this time. And I believe you're going to see more volume, just pressure. And Joyce might wind up tiring out. I mean, he's a human being. Let's not be stupid. It's not like he can just fight all night long. He has to be smart as well. He was huffing and puffing in that fight too. Zhang was mixing his punches up properly, and the same way, that they're studying, Joyce is studying the fight, Zhang should be studying the fight and understanding, looking at what he was doing. And you can go and look at every fight that Joyce has. Again, he has one speed. That's all he knows. So it's not like he's going to come out and all of a sudden he's this excellent boxer. No, you're going to see the same Joyce. I just think he's going to try to give more volume. He may try to be a little bit more defensive, but the thing with Joyce is he's not effective if he's not being the juggernaut. And he's shown that. The same way we saw Usyk deal with it with no problem. It's your mindset. Just like us giving him props for what we see him do right. Well, his opponents can't go in there thinking that, I got to worry about it. No, you neutralize it. So, who's going to win? We'll see. And a lot of people that think Zhang is going to win the rematch is simply because, again, what do you really see Joyce doing differently? Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Who y'all think is going to win? Who y'all going with? Joyce for the win, or Zhang gonna repeat? Same thing again. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.